Thank you very much. My question is to the Premier. When the House wasn't in session last week, she snuck in through two expensive political appointments to chair Ontario's power generation, as well as the disgraced Hydro One. After the $1.1 billion gas plant scandal, the Premier promised Ontarians that she would take the politics out of the energy sector. Now we see that her former leadership rival, Sandra Pupatello, is going to chair the disgraced Hydro One. She apparently passed up the opportunity to be Ontario's finance minister, but she has no energy sector experience, with the exception of allegedly gang-tackling the former Minister of Energy, George Smitherman, over the Samsung agreement at a cabinet meeting. Now we understand Ms. Pupatello is set to make $150,000 a year, or $38,000 an hour, $3,800 an hour, based on last year's.
Question.
The question is, who gets to pay for it? We all know that that's Hydro One consumers. So will the Premier share with us what the Premier has signed off on the severance payment to Ms. Pupatello?
Thank you.
Minister of Energy.
Minister of Energy.
Mr. Speaker, we take the management of Ontario power generation and Hydro One very seriously. We have taken great care in replacing the two chairs of those two organizations. Both existing chairs, Mr. Speaker, have been in office for somewhere around 10 years. We explored all the possibilities, Mr. Speaker, and quite frankly, with her experience in government, in cabinet, she has as much experience as anybody else in the sector. But most importantly, Mr. Speaker, she is very, very clearly going to work towards making Hydro One more customer-oriented. She has experience at doing that. She is currently, Mr. Speaker, the chair of the CEO of the Economic Development Corporation of Windsor, and has other senior corporate positions, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, I find it passing strange that the Premier would pass that to the Minister of Energy, who was one of Sandra Pupatello's biggest booster during the leadership. The Pupatello appointment is just another bad energy decision by this government. Her severance will be just another long item on a very long bill for folks that are paying Hydro One. And we are continuing to pay for the Liberals' mistakes. Whether it is the $20 billion that the minister brags about to communicate 1.1% of energy on our grid through the FIP program, or it is the $1.1 billion cancelled gas plants to save the finance minister's seat. We have two out-of-control agencies at the OPG and at Hydro One. They continue to produce inefficiencies and incompetencies by the second. Propane and natural gas are going to be at all-time highs, and people in Ontario are going to be forced to be paying for their heat and hydro or their grocery bill. The Liberal energy plan has failed. Will Kathleen Wynne stand in her place today and adopt Tim Hudak's plan for affordable energy in the province of Ontario?
Be seated, please. Another reminder that we do not use first names here. We use titles or responsibilities, and I'd appreciate you adhering to that, even when you're making comments sitting on your seat, which you're not supposed to do in the first place. Minister of Energy.
Speaker, I mentioned that we made two appointments at the same time. One was to the Ontario Power Generation, Mr. Bernard Lord, former Premier of the province of New Brunswick, who comes to the job with absolute perfect credentials, Mr. Speaker, having experience in the electricity sector as Premier and having had to manage those very, very important files. It's a credit to us, Mr. Speaker, that we'd be able to attract Mr. Lord. With respect to Hydro One, Mr. Speaker, Hydro One is recognized by its peers across North America as having one of the top 5 distribution companies on the continent, Mr. Speaker. In addition to that, they have totally rebuilt, almost totally rebuilt, and made more credible our transmission system in the last 10 years, Mr. Speaker. A transmission system which that government let deteriorate, so we were having outages and brownouts every single day somewhere in the province, Mr. Speaker. We're proud of both of our institutions.
New question, the member from Nickel Belt.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.